Hello everybody, this is my video in astrophysics number 23. Well, as you can see, my native language is French, therefore I will try to speak the best English I can. And something else, I am not a professional translator, but I produce the best translation I can with a translator then. And something else, I have to follow a text so that I don't forget important details, and I produce the best video I can then. And for those who find my video without going through my website, let me introduce myself. My name as a self-taught and multidisciplinary scientist is Gilles Lauzon-Urtubise, and I am the owner of the first human multi-intelligence.com site, which is in your left side then. So you know the name of the video is Rapprochement of Phobos of about 1.8 meters per century of March. So currently, and apart from myself, no one is able to offer any justification for the phenomenon of rapprochement of about 1.8 meters per century. As far as I am concerned, and about 3 or 4 years ago, I invented a very logical type of concept X that can explain it, and that is the most logical that can be produced until proven otherwise then. Moreover, this type of concept X cannot be discovered by chance by a researcher or a scientist in astrophysics. The only way to produce it is by inventiveness until the production of an invention that represents a type of concept X that can prove the external effect of bringing Phobos closer to Mars. And this is among the multitude of my ideas invented and during my 5 years and 8 months of self-taught study in astrophysics. And from them, only after some logical ideas invented, that I managed to produce this type of concept X. However, I cannot reveal it until my pattern for my extraordinary spaceship is duly filled and protected in all countries of the world. Moreover, this type of concept X has no connection with any forms of accommodating mathematical magical thoughts like that of the gravitational singularity, which does not exist, and has no connection with any other form of accommodating magical thoughts then. As far as I am concerned, there is no way that my extremely high physical logical mind could be buttered or fooled by any branches of complex mathematics. Because mathematics is some things, it's a domain of science, but astrophysics is completely something else. And yes, so. Then, and among my 50 and 100 or more theories of my imposing mother theory of how the universe works, on a macroscopic scale, there is none that has any connection to mathematics. And among the same theory of my mother theory of how the universe works, there are none of these that can be characterized as one or more accommodating magical thoughts. Because my extremely high logical mind, it originates from an insatiable curiosity about nature that started from an age that is only 5 or 6 years old or before, and until now. So from a very early age, I found myself assimilating a lot of experience and relationship between physical cause to physical effect. And until I can figure them out much as I can during that time. And in my young time, starting by observing the nature of soils, rivers, insects, small animals, and all the things in nature that takes too long to list. So for several decades, I have managed to accumulate a considerable amount of experience and relation between physical cause to physical effect in my biological hard drive, because it is extremely useful afterwards to be able to differentiate the possible things from the impossible things then. And among other things, never to be trapped by all kinds of mathematical, magical thoughts or any other forms of magical thinking, which have nothing in common with physical reality. And thanks to my extremely high capacity in deep investigation, in deep reflection, in very deep analysis, and in limitless inventiveness, and many others form a very important intelligence which I use to practice every day then. This allowed me to be the first and the only one in history to be able to decode audio the way of the universe works on the macroscopic scale in an extreme short times of only 5 years and 8 months, whereas every other astrophysicist or planetologist before me has been unable to do so for the past 200 years or more. Currently, my 50 and 100 or more theories of my imposing mother theory of how the universe works on a macroscopic scale give me a level of satisfaction that is somewhere between 96% and 98.5%. And personally, I will never be happy with this file until I achieve 100% satisfaction then. And that is the reason I like to take at least 3 or 4 extremely complex files or more at the time, who are currently, number 1, my imposing mother theory, number 2, my pattern file application of 300, which is somewhere between 300 and 350 pages for my extraordinary spaceship. So I need to find the funding, because I need to finalize the best possible pattern and until it can be protected at 100%. So, number 3, an extremely important personal file that must be completed after COVID-19 because it significantly harms my productivity of all kind, as well as my physical, which is affect my intellectual, doesn't affect my intellectual capacity, but when you feel dead, you cannot produce intellectually. So this is just impossible, because intellectual productivity needs energy to do it. So if you feel no energy, you cannot produce, you cannot invent. So, and of course it makes sense. So then, and but for personal reason, I don't want to disclose this folder. I don't want to say more about this. And because, anyway, I am the only one in history who can solve it by tell to the surgery medicine man what to do, and until I get completely cured then. So, number 4, a dossier to produce a social website or a social network, which is the most protective in history for all members of society then. many others, number 5, many others found, well, of course, like cancer for men and women, so and starting by men, because if I die from a cancer, I cannot working anymore on cancer of women. So you know that makes sense then to put the much work I can on the men cancer, and probably in the same time on the woman cancer, but to make sure then I complete all the cancer of the men. So this way I protect myself, because of course I'm a man. So then, and number 6, many others files in parallel which are of less importance but that I absolutely want to solve from the moment I have collaborators and civil skills and which they are under my direction, and file that takes too long to list, because I am an extremely powerful intellectual machine and far superior to all human brains, including home computer and powerful computers of the planet. And as indisputable proof of this, the first one, it is my imposing mother theory, so which I will publish following my patent filing then. In conclusion, if all the governments of the world invest between 1 trillion, somewhere between 1 trillion and 5 trillion dollars or more in every other brain on the planet and computer and all of the rest, they will have all or collective, they would all or collectively be unable to produce the works like the ones I have produced so far in about 7 years and 2 months, because outside of me it is only through the development of artificial intelligence program to an extremely high level that, and with powerful computer, they should produce at first a lot of new ideas, and on the side of this, many group of 5 or 10 scientists of different scales, which they pass and review all of the ideas which was used to be produced by the powerful artificial intelligence, that to class them in 4 container and 4 category if you want. Then so from 0 to 25 for the ideas which they are which are not the good one, with a percentage it's not so realistic, and after category of 25 to 50, 50 to 75, and 75 to 100 for the best ideas, which they really needs to be experiment in first then. In addition, through my self-taught study in astrophysics in only 5 years and 8 months, during all of that time there is no mystery that I have failed to decode or solve. And if there are any mystery to be discovered that I have yet to meet, I sincerely doubt that any mystery of the universe can withstand my very high intellectual powers in investigation, reflection, deep analysis, and inventiveness of all kind, plus all of my other very important intelligence that I practice daily then. Because so far I have always managed to decode or solve all the mystery that I have encountered, or at least, like in the few cases like this one about Phobos, they going closer to March, then I provide at least produce one satisfactory explanation then to explain that situation. So, and all of my theories that going into my imposing model theory, there are none of them that can be called a theory of one or more accommodating magical thought or mathematical magical thought or any other kind of magical thinking then, because all of my theories are based on one or more relationship of physical cause to physical effect and nothing else then. In conclusion, my intellectual and humanitarian ambition and my responsibility as a multidisciplinary and self-taught scientist and humanist is to advance the knowledge of the humanity, and is to form a website which is used to protect all members of the society, but also to protect the environment by tell to the user how the way they can protect our planet much as possible and protect the environment much as possible, because the earth is the only house we have, and to protect as much as possible all the animals and the nature, because by protecting them we are also protecting us. And the term impossible is a term that I will never respect, and as long as I am sufficiently in good physical, intellectual, and mental condition. So, well, thank you for viewing my video, and welcome to see my next video, which will reveal my opinion on another complex subjects of the universe. So thank you, goodbye now.